All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Omar Thabit here, and I am live with my man, former classmate of mine, Jabed Rashid Choudhury. First of all, Jabed is in the building today, man. I appreciate you coming to the crib and doing this interview, man. And I just want to let you know, guys, know that those that are watching, like I said, long time friend of mine, and he's in the building, and I appreciate you coming here. And like I always tell my guests, people don't want to hear me talk, Jabed. They want to hear the guests speak. So first and foremost, can you tell us about yourself?
All right, man. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I really appreciate that. My name is Jabed Rashid Choudhury, but almost everybody knows me as Jabed. I have 4 siblings. I have 3 older brothers and 1 sister. I am the youngest of all my siblings, so I grew up with a lot of tough love. I was born in Detroit, moved over to Hamtramck when I was about 7 years old. So I went to all Hamtramck public schools. I went from Denison West to KMS to, of course, Hamtramck High. Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. 10 years down the line, we have an interview together.
Yeah,
But
I know.
after high school, I kind of went to Macomb Community College for 2 years, knocked out some gen ed courses. At that time, I was doing like a double major. So I was doing something in the medical field. So it's always competitive in the medical field. You gotta have some kind of backup. So I had a business plan lined up as well. So I was doing something, physical therapy assistant and business administration. So basically, I did 2 years. I applied for the program for the PTA. I did not get into that. So luckily, I had my backup plan, which is business. So I already had the credits for that. Transferred over to Walsh. Completed my degree in 2016. Worked a couple of jobs in between. I want to say Volkswagen was my first time real job, where I actually learned a lot about the real world experience. But I did that, got some experience. But right now I'm a full-time real estate agent, full-time entrepreneur.
That's what's up, man. And you are working with Amin Reality, but we'll get into that a little bit more. So, as I mentioned before, and you kind of touched on it, you grew up in the city of Hamtramck. So how was it for a Bangladeshi person like yourself to grow up in the city of Hamtramck?
Oh man, to be honest, it was amazing because like the slogan is like the world in 2 square miles, I believe, but that's really how it is because when you go to school, you see all different types of backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures, and it's a beautiful thing, to be honest, because you're outside the bubble. You're already looking at someone else's perspective and how they live, and you kind of get a sense of appreciation. And Hamtramck is also really a really big Bengali community, so you almost feel like you're at home. So I don't know, man. I could honestly say like a lot of people coming from back home, that's their first starting spot because they know it's like the closest thing they'll get to back home. And I can say that for a lot about Yemenis and whatnot. So
Definitely.
Place,
Everybody felt like they were at home. Like all the cultures, all the backgrounds that were living in Hamtramck, we all felt like we were at home, And so going from Hamtramck to Hamtramck Public Schools. So how was it like attending Hamtramck Public Schools? Were you born in America, by the way? Okay. So how was it like growing up in Hamtramck Public Schools?
It was good, man. Like there was a lot of cool teachers. Even like till this day, I got some of them on Facebook, but majority of the times, man, they have a good impact on your life because they grow up or they deal with so many different kids from different backgrounds. So it's like it's tight, man. They really care about the students. The system is good. A lot of good memories overall in Hamtramck.
That's good, man. That's good, man. I guess what was your favorite thing, if I could say? What was your favorite thing about going to Hamtramck Public Schools?
Favorite thing, man, I gotta say probably like senior year, to be honest. It was a lot of good memories. I know a lot of people might not have good memories in high school, but senior year was awesome for me because I think we was the last class that only needed 4 years of everything.
Yeah.
Everybody needs like 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
All types of classes, but yeah, I had like 5 electives, senior year, so I was chilling.
Yeah.
Straight 4.0 student, everything.
Yeah.
So it was tight, man.
It was. We had a great time our senior year. By the way, we were fellow 2010 graduates, and I don't know if I mentioned that or not. But so you were talking about that you work for Amin Realty. What made you go into real estate?
I think that kind of kicks back to like just growing up in Hamtramck. You kind of develop like a sense of talking to different people, getting an idea. You become cool with everybody, because Hamtramck is borderline, like, close to the hood too.
Yeah.
So, you kind of got to have their communication skills on point. You come across a lot of people and you just develop that sense of, good relationship. So I always had that, even with just work in general, just growing up, the different jobs. I always usually dealt with customers, just kind of talking to people, and I always had like a good communication with them. So I felt like that was a major plus going into real estate because, if you could talk to people, that's like the main thing, and if you could get them to trust you, that's even better. So I feel like, I was very easy to open up to kind of thing. So I felt like that was one good aspect about it. And also it was just, as I started getting older, something about houses just kind of caught my eye. Like, believe it or not, man, HGTV is like one of my favorite channels, man. Besides ESPN and whatnot, HGTV got a lot of good stuff on there, man.
Yeah, a lot of people love it, man. A lot of people fall in love with those shows. I mean, that's why it's on TV, because everybody loves it. I mean, at the end of the day, you're learning about stuff that actually impacts your life, so that's why people like watching those shows. So what do you like most about working for Amin Realty? Like, basically, it's like an advertisement. Like, what makes Amin Realty better than other realty companies?
Man, okay, well, to be honest, like 3 years ago, man, I had no idea who they are, I would see them occasionally on Facebook, but right now, if you Google them, even if you, Facebook search them, they're like the biggest, real estate company in Macomb County. And I think they do have the largest office in Macomb County. We're located in Warren, but man, just overall in general, the culture and just seeing them grow, it's nice because, you can actually say, like, I was there when the company actually got bigger. So I'm learning a lot also, man. There's a lot of young hustlers in there, man. So, I'm young. I consider myself to be young.
Yeah.
At least,
I think we're young. I don't know.
But hopefully, there's a lot of guys in there that are actually younger than me, man. And, it really kind of puts you in a motivational spot too. So it's just a lot of motivation in the office, to be honest. And just seeing them grow, it's really nice to see that. That's
good, man. That's good that you mentioned that. I'm happy to hear that you're in a positive environment too over there. So going on for that, you are, Tomador, a very positive person. Every time I hear you speak, you're always trying to give light to people and be positive around people. So why do you feel it's important to shed a positive light on people and keep a positive mindset, a positive attitude?
Oh, man, like, especially in today's generation, you see all over social media how negative the world is, like how much hatred, racism, whatever you want to call it, how much of it is really out there, If anything, Facebook really exposed this since the whole George Floyd incident, So it's like, if you could be someone's, light in a day where they're having a really bad day, and you could say the slightest thing to them that'll put them in a positive mood, do it, man, because we need more of that in the world. It's like, it's not enough positivity in the world, You got a lot of people that are more loud than good, so it makes people look more bad. But in general, man, it's the smallest things that can make the biggest impact on someone's life. So, always try to be the good in someone's life, regardless of how big or small you may think it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I appreciate you saying that because, it's very impactful. It could be a simple conversation that can make a big difference in someone's life, man. So I do thank you for that. My next question, you flying through them, and it's probably a good thing. And, some people tell me that your interviews are too long, and I tell them hey, I just enjoy having a conversation with my guests. But my next question is, what gets you up every morning? Like, what is your motivational factor?
So for me, man, to be honest, it's always been about family for me, man. I've always been a family guy. Like, that, and I got married about 1.5 years ago, so once you get married, it's not just you anymore, you gotta really understand that, and every day I'm learning that more and more, so just family, being able to be blessed to see another day is a blessing itself, so that, and the fact that, you got a family and you got a wife, it gives you more motivation to do what you really want to do in life, so it's a great motivation right there.
Yep. Most definitely, and I could second that. And by the way, congratulations, on getting married. I remember seeing photos and all that, but this is my chance to say at least live with you. And no problem. So for someone who may be walking, this is my next question, by the way. So for someone who may be walking the same or similar footsteps as you, what advice you would give them? If you want to talk about realty, if you want to talk about how to carry yourself in this world, just being a Bengali man in this world. You know, just you could kind of touch on all that if you want to answer that.
All right. I mean, I kind of want to piggyback off something you said. Like, I watched one of your recent videos. It was just about like keeping good friends around you, and man, that plays a huge factor, like more than people understand. Because you know, if you're around 5 successful people, chances are you're gonna be the 6th successful person. You're around 5 people that are going down the dark road, chances are you're gonna be that 6th person that's going down that dark road. But you know, I really want to say keep good company, man. Like, and I learned that at a later age, you know, because in high school you know everybody, you know. But
Yeah.
5, 10 years down the line, you start seeing who's really real, who's really been there for you. I mean, for me, it's, like I said earlier, it's a majority of the time for me, it's just been about family. I got 1 or 2 boys that I could really consider boys, and I feel like, you know, that's a good company you want to keep around you. But that, and I want to say, like, just, I think people are too scared to get out of their comfort zone. A lot of people, you know, they get comfortable. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, it's like, you got to remember to try to challenge yourself because you could never stop growing. And the point is, and the whole point is to never stop growing because, you know, there's so much to learn in this world. And it's like, we only see it in one perspective. But it's like, if you look at it in someone else's perspective, if you challenge yourself to maybe learn another language, to do something that you thought maybe you never could have, you know, it'll teach you so much. It'll give you more motivation. And, you know, you can share that knowledge, spread it to the youth, spread it to someone that may be, you know, in your shoes. For example, for me, when I went into real estate, man, I went into it at a tough time because I just got married. I quit my other full-time job, and you know, real estate, it's all like people think it's all sunshine and rainbows, but man, you gotta really grind because you know you're on the clock 24/7. Like even right now, we're doing this interview, but I got my phone on silent, but at the same time, you know, I'm working, so it's like a 365 job, man. You really gotta be on the clock. But for me, I was really uncomfortable at the beginning doing it, but a year down the line, man, alhamdulillah, I can say, you know, I'm really happy I made that decision. I kind of took that leap of faith, and it's really like paid off because in that year, I've learned more than I have in like 25 years of life. So I would just say, man, if you really want to do something, really pursue it, just don't feel afraid to, you know, feel uncomfortable because that's normal. And, you know, in the end, it always usually works out. But just don't be afraid to challenge yourself.
Be something that someone said in the interview. They said, "Be comfortable being uncomfortable." Right. You know, get comfortable being uncomfortable, man, and that's very important. And some great advice that you mentioned, man. Taking that leap of faith, like you don't know what you can do unless you actually try. So I appreciate you sharing that. And now, as for the phone stuff, questions, those are all done. Now it's time for us to have a little bit of fun, man. This is me and you, Jabed. We taking it back 10 years now, and we're in high school, and so even 10 years ago, this guy was still the man. And 10 years later, he's still the man. And the man that I'm talking about is LeBron James. And I know you are very opinionated on this topic. So I'm not even going to ask you who's the best player of all time. Can you tell us why LeBron James is the best player of all time? And why do you feel that way, I guess? So you could go ahead and touch on that. I mean, like, we're all about having fun here, too, you know?
First off, let's dial it back. 10 years ago, this guy was the man. He was throwing wild and out shows. He was pulling out in charges. We're over here walking. This guy pulling out in charges. So
it's silly, man.
It was nice, man. But LeBron James, I mean, come on, look at him. Year 17, you see what he's doing. Like, since he entered the league, like, if he, all I know is that chip is coming out of LA, but most likely it's coming out of, you know, Lakers. I'm hoping for Lakers, but it's going to be an interesting season. And I mean, like, we kind of talked about it beforehand, and, you know, a lot of times people get mixed up with that debate about who's the greatest of all time. And you can't really compare them because, you know, they played in all different generations, eras, so it's like we kind of just want to witness the greatness. And I know I might get a lot of heat, but, you know, in all reality, LeBron is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
What generation he would dominate everybody.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like we were saying, and I'll just touch on this quickly, man. Like, I think people get so caught up into the debating that they don't appreciate what LeBron James is doing. Like, they actually are mad at the guy, and they don't even know why they're mad at him, you know? It's probably because everybody is talking about him so much, and they're getting upset, when really, you can still have your opinion, which maybe majority of it is, hey, MJ is the best, or maybe even Kobe, or somebody has another opinion. But that doesn't mean you get mad at LeBron James or don't appreciate what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what he's doing at year 17 has never been done, I feel like, ever before. So, you know, people got to appreciate it. And we're even getting more viewers now that we're talking about LeBron James, man. So, I don't know if
people coming on.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh, we're talking about LeBron. Let me get on, right?
Think about it. When LeBron retires, who y'all going to talk about?
Yeah.
Who y'all going to be hating on?
Who's the villain?
Yeah.
Who is the villain of the league if LeBron James retires? That is... I see Qasari chimes in. Here we go. Abdullah Qasari says, stop. LeBron is not the GOAT. And he sends a trash can emoji. So I told you, they come out as soon as you mention LeBron. I feel like...
You see that? That's a conversation starter right
Yeah, it is. And like I said, I really ain't up for the debate. I'm not even going to call him the GOAT. I think when I was telling Tomador, it's almost unfair to compare LeBron James to others because he was built, you know, mashallah, very different than everyone else in this world. And any other NBA player, it's almost unfair to compare him to Michael Jordan because the way his skill set is a lot different than Michael Jordan. But at the end of the day, everybody has their opinion, and I think that all I gotta say is that people should appreciate everybody while they're playing, you know, and that's my opinion on that. But you said you got the Lakers winning it all, and if not,
I got Lakers going on. I got Lakers, and I'm gonna take on the East, probably the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks. If the Bucks don't make it to the finals, this will be so disappointing. Because this is their year.
It is.
Make it to the finals. I didn't say win the finals.
Yeah,
like
but it'll be nice because, you know, LeBron versus Giannis. I think it'll be a nice matchup just to watch.
And I like what you said about someone from LA. I think that's true. I think an LA team is gonna make it.
Sure.
I just wish the Clippers and Lakers don't meet until
right.
the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And the last thing that we would want is someone to be out because of the virus.
Right.
That is a key player on the team.
And to be honest, watch us go somewhat deep into the playoffs, and
something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. Oh man, Qasari said I was gonna share this video too, but no, I'm feeling petty now. Hey, Qasari, listen, he did not. Oh, actually, he did say LeBron's the GOAT. I mean, hey, you could share it and then. Yeah, hey, there you go. Qasari, he just got you a hit back, but you could share it and say it on the bottom. Side note, LeBron is not the GOAT or something. You know, you can mention that or something. But going back to the motivational stuff, you got any final words for people out there? I mean, I know there's a lot going on in the world. Racism, virus, you know, just a lot going on in general. So do you have any final words out there for people?
I would just say, man, we are seeing something that we never seen. We may never see again in our lifetime. So just, you know, be safe. You know, don't do anything stupid. Don't go out there, you know, trying to get the virus. You know, I know a lot of people saying, oh, it still doesn't exist. You know, you got the 5G conspiracies. You got a whole lot of theories going on. But just, you know, overall, be safe. And as far as motivation, man, don't be afraid to be uncomfortable because it's completely normal. And I promise, man, if you do your part, you go out there, you really, you know, give it your all. And you leave the rest up to God, and you actually pray, man, things will work out in the end. Inshallah, I really believe that. It's worked for me, and, you know, alhamdulillah, I'm walking proof that, you know, if I can do it, mashallah, a lot of other people can do it as well.
I mean, brother, I say the same thing at all times, man. I'm a walking proof of that, too. You just got to keep praying and hope, and keep the hope alive, man. That's what it's all about. Jabed, thank you for doing this interview on MotivateMe313. Omar T, Jabed Choudhury. 2010 Hamtramck High School Graduate in the building, and I thank you guys all for tuning in.